So we're gonna go through some TRX exercises. Some are just traditional exercises and other ones might feel a little different and unique to sports like tennis, golf, and the like. The first thing I want us to do is we're gonna get our TRX into our full length position, and we're gonna be standing facing away from the anchor point. The first thing we're gonna do is gonna be an alternating lunge. We're gonna start with our arms straight, kind of in that chest press slash push-up slash plank position. And you are going to step into the lunge and just allow those arms to open up. We're getting a nice stretch in through our chest and our shoulders, and then of course through our legs as we're stepping into that lunge. We're going to continue this for a few more reps, and then we're going to talk about the plank. Let's do one more on each side. We're really stepping and pressing through, really enjoying that stretch. Now we're going to come up to that plank position. In that plank, we want to make sure that the straps aren't rubbing on our shoulders, so they're a little bit above. Our palms are facing down, and we have a light grip. From here, I want you to start walking your feet subtly back and still maintaining that great plank position. Now, you might be a little confused because in your mind, a plank is on the ground. Walk it forward. But so much of our body, especially as we're moving through different sports and exercises, we're actually needing to maintain a plank or the portion of a plank. Walk it up and walk it back. As you're doing this, you should feel your core engage. Walk yourself as you're walking backward enough to where you feel that work. If you start to go too far back and you start to lose that plank position, just don't take it as far back the next time. Great. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna open our chest stretch, and we're gonna do an alternating reach as we're going into that lunge. So similar to what we did at the very beginning. So let's go back to that plank position. We're going to open up into the lunge. I'm gonna step forward, and my open is gonna go over that opposite leg. As I step back, I'm gonna return to that plank. So it's almost like combining those first two. Step forward, stretch, and then back to the center. Let's continue. As I'm doing this lunge, the depth of my lunge is gonna be dependent upon my flexibility. Some days you're warm, some days you're tight. Really enjoying this stretch. Let's do one more. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stay in this chest press position, this plank position, this push-up position. We're going to push it down into that chest press, which is kind of like a push-up. So let's do one of those where we're coming down, bending those elbows into that press position, pressing it back up to the top. Let's do one more just like that. We're really engaging through that core up to the top. Now I'm going to challenge you to lift one foot, find that balance, go back into that chest press, back up to the top, rest that foot. Let's lift up the other foot, finding that balance, going back down into that chest press, and then back up to the top. So you have three choices here. You can maintain both feet, okay? You can elevate one foot, and when you rest, you can bring it to the other foot, or you can stay on that same side, let's say 3 to 5 reps on that one side. That was 3 for me. I'm gonna rest that foot, switch it to the other side, find my balance, and then return. The other way to challenge yourself here is to stay on both feet, but take your feet closer to the anchor point and then down into that press position. So any combination thereof of any of those exercises. All right, we are actually gonna now return towards our anchor point. So we're gonna stand facing our anchor point, and we're gonna adjust our straps. So we're gonna bring it up to the midpoint. If your suspension trainer has the yellow lines, that's the midpoint. Okay, from there, we are going to do an I, a W, and a T. We are going to start in an offset stance. So what I mean by that is one foot is in the front, one is in the back. I'm going to do a candlestick hold with my, I apologize, no I'm not. I'm going to allow my hands to rotate toward the ground. I'm going to lean back into my suspension trainer, and I'm going to lift up into the capital letter I, and then slowly lower down. My goal is to keep my arms straight, my wrist aligned with my arms, and then lower it down. So I'm lifting up, and I'm resisting gravity as I lower it back down. Now I'm staying on one side this whole time with my legs, and then our next round, we'll switch it to the other side. Let's do one more of the I, and then back down. We are now going to do a W. So a W is a little different. I oftentimes will take us to a Y, but for the W, I actually want you to do that bent arm position. So same beginning. Let's lean back into it. Palms are facing down. You're going to kind of do this strongman W position, and then lean back into the weight. If this is not challenging enough, you can step a little closer to your anchor point, lift it to the W, and then bring it down. Great, let's do 3 more like that. Nice space between your chin and your chest. Lifting it up, bringing it down. How many did I say? Was it 1 more? If I said 2, do another one for me. All right, so that was our I and our W. Now we're gonna do our T position. So we're gonna take it out to a straight arm T. Same foot is forward in that staggered offset position. We're gonna have our palms facing one another, and we're gonna open it to a T, and then slowly close them up. There we go. Open it to a T, let them close. Great, let's do 3 more. See if I can count this time. 1. Now hopefully you got music blasting at home or at the gym or at the park, wherever you're working out today. 1 more. Great. We're gonna now reverse it. We're gonna do the offset stance with our other side. 1 foot forward, lean back into that position. My palms are facing the ground, and we're gonna lift it up into the I. Now, as I mentioned before, if you're doing this and you're like, Natalie, this isn't a whole lot of work, great, then challenge yourself by getting closer to that anchor point, and now lift. So what's one of the amazing things about the TRX is you were able to adjust the intensity by just stepping closer to the anchor point or further away from the anchor point. Try not to allow there to be any slack. Let's do 1 more. All the way down. Great, now we're gonna take it to that W position. So, just like the I, we're here, and then we're gonna, strong arm, and slowly lower to that beginning position. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. There we go. I didn't want to cheat myself. There's no reason to wake up and work out today if I'm not gonna do it. If I'm gonna phone it in, what's the point? Let's go 3 more. 1, let's see if I know how to count. 2, great, and 3. Yes, last one is that T position, so that same foot's gonna stay forward. My palms are now facing one another. I'm holding those candlesticks. I'm gonna open it up into that T and control it on the way back. I need a little bit more of a challenge. Step that foot closer to the anchor point. You keep going. You find that sweet spot so that you're getting enough work, but you're not losing that form. I do tend to have a little bit weak wrists, so I really have to focus on keeping my wrist in alignment with my arms. So if you're watching my video, you might be like, oh, she's doing it wrong. And I'm not perfect. Never will be, never was. Working every day to get stronger. Awesome, let's do 1 more great one, 1 more T. Great job. All right, now what we're going to do is we're gonna work on some golf moves. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am not a golfer. My husband is. I just got a golf bag and some clubs most recently, so I've been out to the driving range a few times. And so if I apologize if you're like, that's not a good golf swing, my apologies. I'm hoping though, even if it's not a good golf swing, it's still a great exercise. We're gonna do what's called a golf rotation to some people, and we're gonna break it down to 3 different types of exercises, or 3 different types of movements. The first one we're going to do is I'm gonna take one hand, and I'm gonna go from the upper grip, and the other hand is gonna go in a lower grip. I'm going to stand facing my anchor point. Now, if you're a golfer, you might gonna call this, you're addressing, right? So I'm gonna stand as if I'm addressing the ball. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna try to keep my feet shoulder width apart or a little further. And I'm going to move just my upper body. So I'm gonna take that swing, and it's like going towards my back swing, and then I'm gonna come back to neutral, attempting to stay square from the hips down. So we're gonna lift it up, hold that, and bring it back to neutral. Try that again. Up and back to neutral. Let's do 2 more. Up, back to neutral. Last time. Up and back to neutral. Now, if you are a golfer or something of the like, you might be a little uncomfortable trying the other side, but let's give it a go. Bring it up. Neutral. If you're like me, you probably started on your natural side, your stronger side. Let's do 2 more. Last one. All right, now we're gonna go back to that original side, and we're gonna allow our hips, so our upper and our lower, to go together. So we're gonna bring it up, bring it down to neutral, up, 2 more. Up. Awesome. Switch that grip. We're going to go the other way, upper and lower together. Let's do 1 more. All right, now here's the super fun part. Let's go back to that original grip. We're going to take that back swing, and we're going to come all the way through, like we're actually going to hit that ball. So slow motion, we're going to bring it back. We're going to go through center, and we're going to go all the way up to the other side. Here we go. Back again. Controlling that swing. 2 more. Last one. I know you're critiquing my golf moves, but remember, ignore the golf part. Just do this exercise with me. But you can make it look better. You could do it right. Other side. Three more. 2. Last one. If nothing else, those are fun moves. Okay, we are going to now do a TRX squat, and just like everything else, I'll give you a couple different variations. On this very first one, we are going to do it with our 2 feet, and then we're going to move into some single squats. So, let's take our feet neutral. We're going to have arms, we're holding the straps, but we're not going to be yanking. I want you to focus on the legs doing the work. So we're going to come down into a squat, and then stand it up. Down into a squat, and then stand it up. So my hands are here, but I'm not gripping super duper tight. I'm allowing there to not to be any slack, but I'm really using my legs to power me up, tightening through the glutes through the whole movement. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a single leg squat. So for this one, my weight's going to be distributed into one leg is forward. Now, I don't mind if your leg is bent, if it's straight, and if you really want to challenge yourself, you could try that figure 4. Hands are holding the straps. We're going to come down into the squat. Now, for some of you, this might be your deepest squat, and that's okay. If you can go a little further, even better. If you really want to go into that super deep squat that you can do safely, You can bring it down and then up. Let's keep going with those squats. You go at your pace. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Let's go 3 together. 1, 2, 3. Let's now go to the other side. Find that center of gravity, that stability. Elevate that leg. Start with the kind of like a half squat. Find that balance. And then when you're ready, challenge yourself. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Great job with those squats. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna do what's called a power pull. So for this one, you're gonna take one handle, you're gonna needle it through the top triangle, bring it through. Now the triangle that just got needled, needle that handle through the other triangle and give it a little tug. If you do a variation of that, that's fine, or you can just hold both handles if you're like, what just happened? Okay, we're gonna do what's called a power pull. So I'm gonna grab onto the handle, and we're gonna do this 2 different ways. One, we're gonna focus on the upper body, and the other time when we do it, we're gonna focus on our lower. So the first time I want you to do is I want you to lean all the way back, straightening that arm. I want my hips squared toward the anchor point. Now I'm gonna take that loose hand, it's in a blade, and I'm just gonna open it up and point it behind me. Now this arm that's holding the TRX is going to bend, and I'm going to lift up, bringing my hand, my blade, toward the TRX strap, the midpoint. So bring it back, look at that hand, and follow. So on this time around, we're really focused on using our arms. That's right. So bring it back and up. Our core is engaged. I don't know if you noticed, but that plank, right? So from shoulders to feet, we're kind of a nice planked board. You're doing awesome. Let's go 3 more on this side. 3, 2, let's go 1 more great one, and up. We're gonna switch the hand hold to the other hand. We're gonna be here, right? This is our end position. We're gonna bring it back, look at that blade, look at the ground, pull it up, and twist. So my legs are straight. Now some people, you might see this do a little bit of their legs in a squat, and that's fine. We're gonna do it again, similar to that, where the legs are in charge, but I wanna try it first with the arms in charge. Let's go 3, don't forget to breathe, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna go back to that original side, but now the legs are in charge. Similar move. We're gonna bend our knees into that squat. The arm's gonna reach back, but I want the legs to drive us back up to the top and then have that rotation. So slow motion, it's gonna be down. My legs are the power source, my legs, my legs, my legs, and then twist. The arms are gonna help a little, but it's all about the legs. Here we go. Squat, drive it with the legs, and twist. Awesome. It's almost like the legs are doing so much work, like the arms aren't even here this time. Especially after you just did a whole arm round, your arms are thanking you for using your legs. Let's go 3, looking good. 2, oh, I don't know about you, I'm ready for one last one. Awesome. Switch hands. I know, both legs are still gonna get it. Remember, we're gonna end here. Let's take it back. Just hold it here for a moment. Okay, take it up. Oh, I used my arm too much. Think about the legs. Ah, there we go. There's the legs. I'm starting to get tired, which means I'm starting to lose a little bit of form. So don't critique me. We're all human. Oh, let's go 3, 2, fun. Those are some great power pulls. Great choices there. Okay. We're gonna now unwind our little creation here. So undo, take that handle out, take the other handle out, and we are gonna go stay in our mid position. And I slip, but I'm still around mid. I'm gonna now stand facing the anchor point, and we are gonna do some lunges. So we've done a lot of squats. Let's keep on with our legs. We're gonna start with a wide open squat. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna shift our weight to one side. Don't allow any slack on the TRX, but you're not pulling on the TRX. So it's just there just for fun. If I were to take the TRX away, you should still be able to do this exercise. So you're gonna go down into the lunge, back up to neutral, and down to the other side. All right, so this is really good. It's a nice deep stretch. Maybe because you have the TRX, maybe in normal life you'd only go to there, but because you have that security at the TRX, maybe you can challenge yourself to go a little deeper. You can allow the TRX to support you a little coming up, but try to allow your legs to be the amazing powerhouse that they are. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. We're now going to take our feet narrow. They can be right next to each other or just a little bit spread apart. We're going to go to that same lunge position, but now we're going to step into that lunge. So lunging to the side, back to the center, really feeling that core engage. Lunge to the side and center. The pace is up to you. You don't have to go at my same pace. Maybe if you got some music going, you're going to the beat of the song, and that's fine. Whatever is safe and efficient. Here we're going. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Great variation on those lunges. I'm going to give you one more because I really enjoy this one. If I show you this one and you don't like it, go back to one of the first two, the wide or the narrow. This one is a curtsy lunge. So we're going to step out to the side, but my other foot is actually going to go behind my original foot. So I'm going to step, and it's going to curtsy. Land, step, and curtsy. Now a variation of this is where you could curtsy and stay on one side and allow that leg to just hover, or maybe even just tap down, or you can alternate. Curtsy. Now my hands are getting a little bit of that tug on the suspension trainer, but my goal is that my legs are doing the work and that suspension trainer is just kind of hanging out, pun intended. All right, great job on those choice of lunges that you just did. We're gonna now do a single leg rotation. We're gonna stand facing away from the anchor point, and we're gonna keep it at that mid position. From there, we're actually gonna take our straps behind us, I apologize, and we're gonna just hold them together. We don't have to do that single hold. If you want to, you can, but it's okay just to kind of hold them together as well. You can get a stable surface, you can get a person, a bench, but something to where you can hold or balance, your choice, where your feet, your shoelaces, are now that soft part of the cradle. So not on the handlebar, but on the cradle itself. From there, I want you to lunge back, focusing on the 90 degrees on the front foot. We're gonna cross those arms, and I want you to rotate, twist over that leg that's in the front, and then come back to neutral and stand. So you're gonna lunge back, you're gonna rotate, back to center, and stand. Wow, as you're really working on the stability, as you're working on the single leg strength, how much fun it's gonna be when you're golfing and you end up in the bunkers. No, I know that's never fun. But think about the times where you're having to kind of be at a funky angle, getting out of those bunkers, and we're really focusing on that stability and the strength during the mobility. Let's go one more on this side. Rotate, back, and stand. Safely remove yourself from the anchors. make sure you take a deep breath. You can pause at any time and grab a drink. We're gonna now go to the other foot. My shoelaces are resting in those cradles. All right, get myself in a good neutral position with my anchor point. I'm gonna now lunge back, arms are crossed, deep angle, rotate, and back up. Now I notice I'm a little closer to the wall, so I'm gonna take a hop out, cross those arms. Now is it okay if my lunge is only this deep? Yeah, that's okay. But really challenge yourself to your safe ability where it's still a challenge. If you have a mirror or a picture or something with a reflection, it's really nice to use for these so you can focus on those angles, or even maybe put a camera or your phone nearby so you can take a look at those angles. Oop, I'm slipping, getting tired. I'll make that my last one because I want to make sure that I'm safe. If you can do a couple more, please do. All right, we are near the end of our workout. You're welcome to pause, rewind, do some segments again. I'm going to show you a couple stretches that I would like to end with. So with this one stretch, we're going to have, we're going to stand facing our anchor point. We're going to have, actually we're going to shorten our straps first. We haven't shortened them yet. If you leave them at mid, that's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and shorten them. And I'm going to get a nice stretch through my back. So I'm going to face my anchor point. I'm going to kind of lean back into it. And I'm going to really allow that weight to come through my shoulders. Head is in neutral position. Leaning down. You're looking great. So keep with that stretch. So in this one, really sitting back into that stretch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to end up looking under our arms. So here, we're going to look under and rotate, coming back to neutral. Other way, under and rotate. Great. Just keep going. Remembering to breathe through those stretches. I'm going to walk it back up. I'm going to take this last one. I can keep this one at short. I think I'm actually going to prefer to bring it all the way to long. I'm going to turn away. I'm going to go back into that plank position how we started today, but I'm going to walk through, opening my chest and shoulders, allowing them to reach behind me, and I'm going to gently walk it back. I'm going to continue with that movement. So I'm going to bring those arms straight up, allow them to circle behind me. Oh, that feels great. If there's a spot where I'm like, wow, that's a great stretch, I'm going to kind of freeze in that position, allow it to rotate. The goal for this is not to overextend, hyperextend. The goal is to stretch through that range of motion. Awesome. Looking good, feeling good. I don't know about you guys, but this was a great workout for me. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it. I will be doing another segment, if you haven't watched it already, with the TRX Rip Trainer. So that's going to be a great one too. And I'll do some that are focused on handled implements. So golf, hockey, tennis, things like that. So you'll be getting some of those rotations, those movements, those strikes. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Drink some water and have a happy day.